The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Jen Barnum, the Marketing Manager for Naviant, and I'm here to kick things off. A few housekeeping items. Everyone is muted at this time. We are recording this webinar, and you will receive a copy of it after the webinar is over. For questions, go ahead and use the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll answer any questions at the end of the webinar. A survey will pop up. I encourage you to take that and to give us some feedback. Today, we're going to hear from Liz Skolaski on some sales and operations updates and a little bit about Naviant. Mike Carr will cover some accounting and contract updates, and Chris will share some important support details. I will cover the extra free offerings we want you to be aware of now that you're a Naviant client. So with that, I'd like to introduce Liz Skolaski, the COO of Naviant.
Good morning, everyone. We all want to thank you for joining us this morning, and we know it's a privilege to have you join us as customers, and we look forward to hopefully you seeing everything today that might help you understand that you've been taken very good care of by CASNET, but we do believe we can add some additional things on there and make your lives even better. We want to welcome all of you that have OnBase software and ApplicationXtender software. I want to talk a little bit first about the CASNET acquisition and our intent of what's going to occur going forward. We formally acquired CASNET at the beginning of the month, and our intent is to stay in Akron, and we have retained all of the people you probably have dealt with in the past, and our intent is to keep all those people. We want to grow the Akron office the way the Madison office is. We are not only do we have a large presence in Madison, we are very involved in our community, and we want to extend that and grow that in the Akron office. I just lost my train of thought there. And again, we just want to grow our presence there and retain and grow the people there. We right now have operational people there. Our intent is to add a sales force in that location and give you more and more care and service as you go forward. Naviant is headquartered in Madison, in Verona, Wisconsin. We're right outside Madison, the state capital. And we are actually close to another very large software company called Epic. Any of you that have gone to the doctor's office and pulled up your own client file probably uses their software. So we have a large pool of very talented technology people in this surrounding area. We've been in business for over 30 years, and we are privately held. Our owner's name is Mike Suter, and he welcomes anybody calling him. So if you don't like any experience that you may have received from any of us, he would gladly take your calls. We originally started 30 years ago as a company called MTM, or More Than Micrographics. And about 15 years ago, Mike realized the industry was changing. So we evolved from a microfilm company into a software company. As you look at this slide, you will probably see that CASNET and us have some similar structure to us. So I'm going to go through our three main divisions. Our first one is a physical records division. So we actually have a warehouse here that we house paper documents in boxes. We also have 3 vaults that carry microfilm and tapes. They are climate controlled, humidity controlled, very different than the rest of the warehouse. And so we do a lot of storage of your data, and then we convert that or do scan on demand for a lot of clients those records then go right into your OnBase system. We also do conversion services. So if you want to convert all your paper documents into your system, we can do that as well. We are a federally approved facility and actually have several federal contracts. The second group is Naviant Group. And Naviant Group is headed by several consultants that first come into your organization and hopefully review how you operate as an organization and how you want your processes to flow through the organization. Many of them have lots of experience in the verticals you'll see on the next slides. So they bring a wealth of knowledge into your organization about your industries. We have learned over the years it's really important that we understand how you want to operate and what you want your processes to be before we apply a solution to that. And we've had a very high success rate in following that process. We have several trained consultants in that area and have a lot of experience working with enterprise level solutions. So I think that's a new area that hopefully we can bring to all of you. The second area is the enterprise content management, and that area is really our deployment teams. And a lot of the people you have have a relationship with today from the CASNET office are in this group. And they are joining our deployment team, and we will now have a pool of resources for all of you to draw from. So we are really looking that the best person for the job will be deployed to your organizations to deploy your solutions or enhance your solutions. They also have, we also have a project management team that oversees all of these projects. Everyone in this group are either certified or the project management teams have their PMI certifications. So we are very much into making sure that our people stay trained and current on all options that are available to you as a client. That pretty much makes up our whole organization. And again, as you see, we're very similar to the way CASNET was kind of structured. We're a little bit more specialized, and Krause will expand on that a little bit later. But as a whole, that's how we're organized. The next thing is a list of some of the clients we currently have that you will be joining. I show you this because I encourage you, and Jen will cover this in the next slides, to join us in our webinars and at our conferences. This has been a great opportunity to meet these people. Several, you will see, we have manufacturing, we have government, we have healthcare, and in the insurance industry, and various other, but these are the ones that we primarily focus on. At these seminars, you will meet these people, and the best thing can happen is you learn from each other and avoid any pitfalls somebody else has made. And we've had great success with our conferences because of that networking capability. Several of these clients are enterprise solutions, and what I mean by that is the company has decided that OnBase is the platform that everything else is built upon and have deployed globally. Examples of that are Rockwell International, Renewal, and WPS is deployed through all of their locations in the United States. They are one of the 5 Medicare providers in the United States. And next slide. So what we're going to follow up with next. So you understand our roles. I take care of the sales team and the operational or support teams, which you'll learn more about. Mike helps with the sales organization from a legal standpoint, and then some of the back office things. So as CFO, you will deal with him, especially if there's billing questions, or his team, which is a wonderful part of the organization. So, Mike.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Naviant. Like Liz said, I'm responsible for back office issues, so accounting, contracts, HR, and our own internal systems. Also want to just mention, Liz talked about physical records division, and I oversee that, which includes conversion services. So we have a small operation here in Madison, Wisconsin, but would like to point out that you'll continue to get your conversion services via CASNET. And with that, this is the phenomenal team that you're going to get a chance to work with in the coming years. Very, very proud of this team that handle kind of the things that I just talked about. One thing I want to point out is this team shares a common email address for accounting type issues, purchasing at Naviant.com, And so if you use that email, then this entire team has access to get you a very prompt response. A couple points that you may be wondering about in terms of very, very high level in terms of how we process agreements and how we do invoicing. First thing we need to get taken care of, and I'm happy to say that many of the new Naviant clients have already signed the assignment letter from CASNET, and so we'll continue to work on that. That's first contract issue we need to get behind us. Next, we work under standard terms and conditions as kind of our master document that goes over net payment terms and general issues that cover all statement of works. And so in the coming weeks, in the coming months, you'll be working most likely with your account executive to get standard terms and conditions in place. Once that's signed, then as you have individual projects, you'll sign an individual statement of work that outlines the specific project that you're working on. When that statement of work is signed, you send that to purchasing at Naviant, and we have a very nice process to basically kick that project off so that we can get started as soon as possible. On invoicing, any software or products that you would purchase from us would be invoiced fully upon execution of your statement of work. And on professional services, those are invoiced the following month, early in the following month after the work was actually performed. And so that's how invoicing works. Another major invoicing element is vendor maintenance renewals, your application extender and your OnBase renewals. And what we do there is about 90 days prior to the expiration of the maintenance term, you'll get an email or letter that outlines what your current maintenance looks like. And then very shortly after that, we will invoice you for those renewals. And one thing I want to point out, if you do require a purchase order, we will account for that and make sure that we don't invoice you before we receive your purchase order. And so Carrie Salver is the person that handles our maintenance renewals issues. And with that, I would like to introduce Chris Krause.
Good morning, everybody. If you're not excited already, we are extremely excited to have you come aboard and be a part of the Naviant Customer Care Group, our support organization, to help guide you through any potential break-fix issues or any questions you have related to OnBase or Application Extender. Whatever solution you have in place, we are here to help. And currently, you can see on the screen some bright smiling faces of very helpful people that will guide you through your support experience, led by Mr. Paul Kegler, who is our customer care supervisor. And we also have Jen Hanquinet and Jen Siegel, who are our senior support specialists who've been around for a very long time. They have 11 and 9 years of experience and all the certifications to back that experience. And Drew is one of our newer employees of 3 years experience and has certifications as well. And of course, David and Terry, who you may recognize, are joining the team and going to be taking care of you just as they always have from before. So a little bit about our customer care group. We have the dedicated support groups in Verona and in Akron. We have got 12 plus years of winning Highland's largest and highest level, the Diamond Level Partner Support Award. This is for demonstrating highly skilled issue resolution for our clients. We also have, everybody has required to have certifications and keep them all up to date. So every 2 years we have to recertify our certifications, make sure we can demonstrate an ability to complete all of those tasks and efficiencies. And we have a philosophy that we put in place when I started about 12 years ago of wanting the customer to be self-sufficient. Meaning I want you to know the most about your solution and be able to extend your solution to the entire organization, because you get the most benefit out of your software when you can know all the capabilities and things that it can do and everything that it benefits your organization. So we want to train you and show you these things. So we use tools and techniques to demonstrate those particular features and functions to you during the course of any troubleshooting issue. And we are very, very easy to reach. We're available 24/7. You can see we've got the 800 number posted. We also have an email. So a lot of you like to submit support requests via email. So support@navient.com reaches the entire team. The team then will open up an issue, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like. But if you don't like that way, you can actually get a hold of us via the online chat. So we have the ability to, you can click the chat button on our webpage and actually access our support team directly and ask your questions directly. And they will respond to you instantly, giving you chat feedback. Now, obviously, if you have a severe system down situation, we want you to pick up the phone and call us because you're going to get an instant response. We want to take care of that in the timeliest fashion possible. So don't email those types of requests in. Actually, give us a call. We love talking to you. But there are multiple ways for us to reach us. And we also have on our webpage, which you'll get to see in a little bit, the opportunity to submit requests directly from our webpage as well. And we have a lot of other resources out there, which I know Jen's going to talk to you a little bit about, including, but not limited to, upgrade requests. So we use OnBase internally, including the Unity form. Unity form gives you the ability to fill out and make a request to have an OnBase upgrade performed for you. And our support team actually does that work because they are all certified installers. And they will give you the estimate to complete that work all directly from our website. So it's a fantastic tools available to you directly. So when you have an issue, when something comes up that doesn't seem to work, we want you to come out and give us a call or submit a ticket. And every time you submit a ticket, we create one in our CRM solution so that you get a ticket number and a synopsis of that issue emailed to you for tracking purposes. All issues will come through our single support number, so you have one number to call, and we do require that you have an approved support person or people, because it can have many people, but we want to make sure we have things channeled through the people that have access to the systems that are needed, right? So if we have to have troubleshooting, we need to be able to have access to the servers and the required tools, and we also want to make sure that the admins know what's happening. So we don't want to have just an end user who is trying to do something on a form perhaps or something in your system, just calling up and requesting something that maybe they don't have access to, because we don't want to change anything in your system that you're not aware of. We want to make sure we're working with the correct people. And what make up a support issue? Of course, the critical things to know when you're going to be contacting support is we need to know what exactly is the issue. How many people are affected? How long has it been happening? Did it just start happening? What's changed? Those types of questions. We also want to know how critical is it? Because even though it could only be affecting, say, one department or one person, that may be a very critical pivot point in your solution, and we want to make sure we have that understanding prior to or as we're troubleshooting this particular issue. And if you can, any recreation steps, screenshots, logs, things of those natures, make issue resolution even faster when you provide those right up front. So when you're working with Naviant Support, one of the things that we use a lot is go-to meetings. So we like to connect in with you, and that gives you the ability to see exactly what and show us exactly what you're seeing, and we get to walk through together and demonstrate that issue. And obviously, as we walk through that troubleshooting, we find a potential missing item, like say a checkbox that was missing in security. You get to see where that is, so that way you get to learn through that process. We also, on a monthly basis, go through all of your support issues. And if you called in an issue and that issue was closed in that month, we do a survey. And we want to hear from you on how well did we do. Were we courteous? Were we timely? Were we knowledgeable? We want to know your opinions on how that issue was handled. We want to make sure that we're providing you the best possible service. We also do, so our support organization does a little bit more than just standard support. And because we have certified people on there, we don't just say, hey, did you reboot that? We actually do educational webinars every other month to try to gain a proactive approach to getting you issues resolved. So things that we've seen over the last month are the great new features coming out and the latest releases of OnBase. We want to demonstrate those to you so that you can take advantage of those features and functions. And that's provided by our support team. We also provide similar type of information in our blog. So we do all kinds of, when you call in issues, if we hear of an issue more than 3 times, typically that turns into a blog article so everybody can benefit and see those things, especially on when they've upgraded and seen the latest release. Sometimes there's some features that were unexpected that they're like, hey, don't forget you need to add in this particular function in your form. So there's some great new tips and tricks and things of that nature that comes in the blog. So I encourage you to sign up to the blog and see those articles that come out about every other week or so. One other thing our customer care group does, if that wasn't enough, is we actually do a performance audit. And an audit is a great snapshot in time of your solution. And we provide that as a basis for understanding exactly where you are and where you should potentially go. So we take a look at everything that you have configured. We document all of it for you so you know exactly what you have. And then we make recommendations on how you can improve your deployment. So one quick example on that is we've had customers that created a lot of document types. So they made 800 document types. But of those 800 document types, 200 of those only had 5 documents or less. So those document types are probably not needed and should be cleaned up. So we make those types of recommendations as we go through your solution to make sure that you are optimizing your solution. And that's a great feature of our customer care group. Probably the most exciting part of the morning is you all receive a free Tier 1 support until your next renewal. Tier 1 support includes standard business hours support along with 4 hours of banked time, which can be used for upgrades or services. You also get the access to webinars, the basic audit, remote license installation, so license certs when you add licensing to your solution, cloud-based configuration storage. So if you have a configuration, say a workflow configuration you want to export, and we'll save that for you so that you have a backup of that from a disaster recovery perspective, we'll store that for you. If you have the OnBase Report Services Bundle, you get we created some custom reports. We give you those 50 reports included with that, which are some fabulous reports that our clients have requested throughout the years. So we created them all, bundled them up, and provide them to you as a Tier 1 support customer, along with a bundle of reporting dashboards. So if you're a dashboard user through the Unity client, we provide you that bundle as well. So some great features and functions as a part of the Tier 1 support, and you all get it free.
We will be sending out after this webinar information on Tier 1 support, so you'll have a chance to digest that, and if you have any questions, we'd be available to answer those. So I'll just jump right in because we're running a little short on time. This is our marketing team, so you'll be hearing from all of us on all the things that I'll be covering today. I'm really excited to share with you our summit. Liz mentioned it earlier. We host it annually. We have over 200 clients that attend and prospects as well. It's a 2-day event really designed to help you share ideas and find inspiration on all things OnBase. The first day is made up of breakout sessions and customer panels. There's customer presenters that talk, industry roundtables for all of the verticals Liz mentioned earlier. There's networking opportunities. We host a specific executive forum for those C-level executives that attend. We bring in an outside speaker to cover some topics that are challenging in the industry at the time. It's really meant for all types of users. There really is something for everyone there. So I mentioned the executives. There's a lot of technical users that attend because day 2 we offer hands-on training. And this is all provided free of charge to our customers that attend. So those training sessions are half-day sessions. In the past, we've hosted 4, and you pick 2 to choose from. Business users also benefit from it because a lot of our sessions are about how to grow your solution into other areas. So there's sessions on accounts payable and human resources and what are the other popular modules our clients are using. So I encourage you to save this date and put some money in your budget to travel to Wisconsin. It's held in Madison this year, or in 2018. There's also a 2-minute video to give you a little bit more of a flavor for what it's like on our website, so I encourage you to check that out as well. For something more local, we're actually hosting an OnBase conference, a 1-day event in Westlake, Ohio at the Highland headquarters. So that's coming up. Mark your calendars. For February 6th, we're starting a little later in the morning to account for travel time, and we know weather can be dicey in Ohio, much like Wisconsin during that time. So we're giving you a little buffer in the morning. So please mark your calendars for that. You're going to get a tour of the Innovation Center that Highland has, which is phenomenal. Their headquarters is a really cool space. We have some excellent speakers lined up from Highland that are going to talk about what's new in OnBase and share some other highlights. There's going to be an OnBase 101 session, so if you're new to OnBase or want to bring along some folks that don't know much about it, excellent chance to share that knowledge with them. You'll get a chance to meet some Naviant and Highland executives as well, and then we're going to bring in some industry leaders within Highland to join us for lunch. So you'll get a chance to talk to those vertical experts about your questions that you might have. So again, excellent opportunity to just plug into what's new in OnBase. So look for those invitations in the coming weeks for that. Chris mentioned webinars. We host actually a monthly series of webinars. So Chris was talking about the support webinars. Those are held every other month. On the opposite months, we have our sales engineer team present a solution spotlight. So those are kind of the popular solutions that we often sell to our clients. Like again, I mentioned accounts payable, but sometimes they're just module based. So you'll start receiving those invitations. If you haven't gotten the All Thing OnBase one yet, please let me know and I will get one forwarded to you. I highly encourage you to attend that All Things OnBase one. It is a webinar that we've been running twice now, and again, it's kind of that compilation of everything you need to know about where you can find free training for OnBase, how to explore OnBase Community, which is Highland's site that they've revamped. I encourage you to sign up for that one. It's a short webinar, half an hour, and it will serve you really well. I also wanted to highlight a few of the great free resources that you now have access to. Chris mentioned the blog from the technical side. As you can see on the screen, this is what the blog looks like. We post to it at least bi-weekly. Half of the articles are technical. Those are all password protected because, again, they have some proprietary information in them. So you do have to subscribe to the blog. But once you subscribe, you can open every single article that's on the blog. We also have business articles on there. So we do a lot of posts within the verticals. I know there's quite a few government articles out there on agenda management, e-plan review, you name it. We've written a ton of great content, and the blog is a perfect way to share it with you all. You can access that from our website, by the way. It's just, if you go to our homepage, you can see the blog in the upper right-hand corner. If you're into social media, Facebook is a great place. We're very active on our Facebook page. As Liz mentioned, some of the community efforts and outreach that we do, we post that on Facebook. So right now we have a Second Harvest event going on where Naviant is heavily involved in the community and sponsoring that. We just had a social media blitz yesterday on that. So Facebook is a great place to learn more about Naviant's culture and the type of people that you're working with. And then we also are on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. Our website, I mentioned multiple times throughout this, it really is a wealth of knowledge. Our resources library specifically, so if you want to explore that, I encourage you to do so. It's filled with a ton of free premium content. All of the webinars that we host throughout the year, there's recordings of those on there. There's videos, short little 2-minute videos on the different solutions you might be interested in. Those are out there. There's white papers on a wide variety of topics, collateral, video testimonials, you name it. The way to access it, you go to our homepage and you click resources across the top, and then you can see on the screen you would select resource library and it would take you to that section on our website. From there you can filter it by type, so if you're looking for videos or white papers, you can select that as a filter. You can also select a filter of an industry, so if you're from government or insurance, you could filter it that way, and then you can also filter by departmental solutions. If there's a specific area like contract management or something you're looking for, it will filter it down to just show you what you want. A few that I wanted to mention that if you are an OnBase client or considering it, these workbooks are phenomenal. They are meant to help you identify where else you might use OnBase, what might be missing in your existing solution, and help you further leverage your existing investment in OnBase. So there's a general one, and then there are some departmental-based ones as well, and those are out there. We also host a monthly newsletter, which you should already automatically be receiving. So that's an excellent resource of some important highlights that we put together for you. One powerful resource that I mentioned earlier is the OnBase Community website. This, if you attend that All Things OnBase webinar, we'll go into detail on that. So in the interest of time, I'm going to skip the further things on that, but that All Things OnBase webinar will cover it. It's free to join if you're an OnBase client. The last topic I wanted to cover was OnBase training. Highland has a wide variety of training options. Our marketing team can help you with any of your training needs. I can plug you into what dates are, how much it costs, all of that stuff. So marketing is the right place to go to. You can email that email address at the bottom and we'll take you where you need to go. There's also a ton of free training courses available on training.onbase.com. So again, we'll cover that in detail in that All Things OnBase webinar if you're interested in hearing about that. The last thing I wanted to mention is this welcome guide. Everything I covered today is put together in this handy dandy welcome guide. You all will receive a copy of this after the webinar, and if you have any other questions, you can feel free to reach out to us. So we'll stay on the line. If anyone did have questions, go ahead and enter them in the chat. But otherwise, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We did have a question come in that was asking if we are providing the PowerPoint to new customers. We will provide that to you after the webinar recording is over. All right, thank you everyone. We're gonna go ahead and hang up. If we have any questions after this webinar is over, go ahead and reach out to any of us. Thank you this morning.